At exactly 2 a.m., inside a mansion worth more than most people could dream of, something went terribly wrong. The cameras were recording everything. The guards were awake. And the most powerful man in the city, billionaire Kareem Hassan, was standing outside a locked room, his hand shaking as he dialed the police. "This woman is dangerous, she tried to destroy my family. Come immediately." The woman he was talking about was his maid. But what the CCTV cameras captured that night didn't just tell a story. It exposed a truth so brutal, so unexpected, it shattered an entire family's legacy in a matter of hours. Now think about this: if someone that powerful accuses a maid of a crime, would you question him? Or would you believe him instantly? From the outside, Kareem's mansion looked like perfection. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, a life of luxury that screamed control and success. Inside, it was something else. Silent tension lived in those walls. And the only person who truly noticed it was Sophia. She had worked there for 5 years. Quiet, observant, invisible to most. She cleaned, cooked, and kept her head down. But she also saw everything. Late-night arguments. Closed-door meetings. Whispers that stopped when she entered the room. Secrets. Lots of them. And she never spoke about any of it. Because she needed that job. Until that night. Kareem called her into his private study. The door shut behind her. No cameras inside. Only silence. 15 minutes later. The door burst open. Sophia ran out. Her face was pale, her eyes filled with panic, her hands trembling like she had just seen something she was never supposed to see. Behind her, Kareem stepped out, but he didn't look angry. He looked afraid. "You made a mistake," he said coldly. "And now you'll pay for it." 10 minutes later, the police arrived. Sophia was arrested on the spot. Charges: theft and blackmail. But as they dragged her away, she said one thing, just one. "Check the cameras, they'll tell you the truth." And then she went silent. Here's where things get dangerous. Because cameras don't lie. But they don't always tell the full story either. So tell me, if you were there, who would you trust, the billionaire, or the maid? The police didn't waste time. Within minutes, the mansion's security room was filled with officers, guards, and Kareem himself watching the footage that would decide everything. Every hallway. Every entrance. Every angle. All eyes locked on the screens. At first, it looked exactly how Kareem described it. Sophia was seen entering the study room. Alone. No hesitation. No force. Then, nothing for 15 minutes. Just a closed door. Stillness. But when the footage rolled forward, everything changed. The door flew open. Sophia rushed out, terrified, shaken, clearly not acting. That much was obvious. But what caught everyone off guard was what came next. Kareem stepped out behind her. And for a split second, barely noticeable unless you slowed the footage down, his expression cracked. Not anger. Not control. Fear. Real fear. The kind powerful men aren't supposed to show. The officer paused the video. "Play that again." They zoomed in. Frame by frame. Kareem's hand was shaking. His eyes weren't on Sophia. They were fixed on something inside the room. Something the camera couldn't see. The atmosphere in the control room shifted instantly. This wasn't a simple theft case anymore. "Sir," one officer asked carefully, "what exactly happened inside that room?" Kareem didn't answer right away. And that silence said more than anything else. Then Sophia's voice echoed in everyone's mind. "Check the cameras, they'll tell you the truth." But the cameras didn't show the inside. So what truth was she talking about? That's when one of the junior officers noticed something unusual. "There's another feed," he said. Everyone turned. "A hidden camera, backup system. It's not part of the main security grid." Kareem's face went pale. "Turn it off," he snapped instantly. Too fast. Too desperate. But it was already too late. The officer had already clicked play. The screen flickered. Static for a second. And then the study room appeared. From inside. And what they saw in that moment didn't just shock the officers. It made one of them step back. Because the man who called the police was not the victim. Not even close. Now think carefully. If the truth was hidden this whole time, why would Kareem call the police himself? What was he trying to control, before it got out? And the biggest question of all. What did Sophia see, that made a billionaire afraid? The room went completely silent as the hidden footage played. No one spoke. No one even breathed properly. Because now, for the first time, they were about to see the truth Kareem tried so hard to hide. The video showed the study room clearly. Kareem standing near his desk. Sophia standing a few steps away, nervous, confused. At first, it looked normal. Until Kareem locked the door. From the inside. Sophia's body language changed instantly. She stepped back. "Sir, what are you doing?" No answer. Kareem slowly walked toward her, not angry, not shouting. Calm. Too calm. That kind of calm that feels wrong. "I know what you've seen," he said quietly. Sophia froze. "I didn't mean to, sir." "I swear," she replied, her voice shaking. That's when Kareem opened a drawer. Took out something. A small black device. He pressed a button. And suddenly, another screen inside the study lit up. The officers leaned closer. Because what appeared on that screen changed everything. It was footage. Not from tonight. From previous nights. Clips, one after another. Showing members of Kareem's own family. Secret meetings. Hidden transactions. Illegal deals. And faces that shouldn't have been there. Powerful people. Dangerous people. Sophia gasped. You're recording them." Kareem smiled. Not proudly. Not happily. But like a man who had crossed a line so far, there was no coming back. "Control," he said softly. "That's how you survive at the top." Sophia shook her head, stepping further back. "This is wrong. I won't be part of this." That's when everything snapped. Kareem's expression hardened. "You already are." He moved closer. Sophia turned, trying to reach the door, but it was locked. "You have two choices," Kareem continued. "Stay quiet, or disappear." Her breathing got faster. Her hands trembled. "I'll tell the police," she said. And for the first time, Kareem laughed. A cold, empty laugh. "Do you really think anyone will believe you?" Back in the control room, every officer was now staring at Kareem. The man who had called them. The man who claimed to be the victim. Was now exposed, in his own house, by his own system. And the worst part? The footage hadn't even reached its end. Because what happened next was the moment everything truly broke. Let me ask you something. If you were Sophia in that room, trapped, with the truth in your hands, would you risk your life to expose it? Or stay silent, and survive? Sophia's back hit the wall. No way out. The door was locked. Kareem stood just a few steps away, watching her like he had already decided her fate. "You won't go anywhere," he said quietly. But something in Sophia changed in that moment. The fear was still there, but now there was something else too. Determination. "You made a mistake," she whispered. Kareem frowned. What? You recorded everything, and you forgot one thing, she said, her voice still shaking but her eyes steady now. You're not the only one who knows how cameras work. For a split second, Kareem froze. And that was enough. Sophia reached into her pocket and pulled out her phone. I backed it up, she said. Silence. Heavy, dangerous silence. Kareem's face changed instantly. The control, the calm, gone. Give it to me. He stepped forward. Sophia shook her head. It's already sent. That's when everything exploded. Kareem lunged toward her. The footage shook as they struggled. A chair fell. Something shattered. Sophia tried to push him away, but he was stronger. He grabbed her wrist. And then, the video cut for a second. Static. Glitch. The officers leaned in closer. Wait, what just happened? The screen flickered back. And what they saw next made one of the officers curse under his breath. Because Kareem had stopped. Completely still. Not because he wanted to. But because someone else had entered the room. The door was open. In the footage, a figure stepped inside. Not a guard. Not family. Someone unexpected. Someone who clearly wasn't supposed to be there. Sophia looked up, shocked. Kareem slowly turned around. And for the first time that night, he looked completely powerless. Who the hell are you? He demanded. The man didn't answer immediately. He simply walked in, calm, controlled, like he already knew everything. Then he said one line. I think that's my question. Back in the control room, confusion spread fast. No one recognized the man. Not even Kareem's own security team. Which made it worse. Because that meant one thing. This wasn't random. This was planned. And here's the part that makes it even more dangerous. Because if Sophia already sent the footage, then who received it? And who just walked into that room at the exact right moment? Coincidence? Or something much bigger already in motion? Tell me honestly. Do you think Sophia was really just a maid, or was she hiding something too? The man stepped further into the room, calm, steady, like he had walked into a place he already owned. Kareem tried to regain control. You have no idea where you are, he snapped. The man looked around slowly, then back at him. Oh, I do, he said. And I know exactly what you've been doing in here. Sophia stared at him, confused, but something in his tone made her feel safe. For the first time that night, Kareem laughed nervously. You think you can just walk in and... Enough, the man cut him off. One word. And suddenly, Kareem went silent. Because deep down, he knew. This wasn't someone he could scare. Back in the control room, the officers leaned closer as the truth finally began to unfold. The man reached into his coat. Pulled out a badge. Not local police. Something higher. Something far more dangerous. I've been tracking your operations for months, he said calmly. Every recording, every deal, every person you thought you controlled. He glanced at the screen Kareem had shown Sophia. Became evidence. Kareem's face lost all color. No, that's not possible. It is, the man replied. And thanks to her. He nodded toward Sophia. We finally have everything. Sophia's eyes widened. Me. The man gave a small nod. When you accessed that system last week, you triggered a silent alert. We've been watching ever since. Everything clicked. All the fear. All the pressure. All the secrets. Sophia was never just a witness. She was the missing piece. Kareem stepped back, shaking now. You don't understand, if this gets out, It won't just destroy me. The man looked him straight in the eyes. That's the point. Within minutes, the mansion was surrounded. Not by regular police. By a full investigation unit. Servers seized. Files extracted. Hidden accounts exposed. And one by one, the powerful names in those recordings started to fall. Business partners. Family members. All connected. All involved. As they escorted Kareem out of his own house, the same house he once controlled, he turned one last time toward Sophia. You ruined everything. Sophia didn't look away this time. No, she said quietly. You did. Days later. The story exploded everywhere. A billionaire brought down by his own surveillance system. A maid who refused to stay silent. And a truth that had been hiding in plain sight. But here's the twist that stayed with everyone. Kareem didn't call the police to report a crime. He called them. To control the narrative before the truth reached them. He thought he was still in charge. He was wrong. Now think about this. How many powerful people hide behind control, thinking they're untouchable? And how many ordinary people are one moment away from changing everything? If you saw something like Sophia did, would you risk everything to expose it? Or would you walk away and pretend you never saw a thing?